of KJ Somaya College of Science and Commerce welcome you all to the lecture series entitled Learn from Stalwarts. As per our tradition, we will begin our program by the campus prayer. I request you, Mr. Santosh Kundu, to start the prayer recording of our colleague, Mrs. Savita Mode.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जिथा मा गृध कस्य स्विद्धनम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा त्वमहं वन्दे परमानन्द माधवम् ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनाम् अवीत्र्यवतु ॐ चोदयेत्री सूनृतानां चेतन्ती सुमतीनां यज्ञं दधे सरस्वती ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विना वधितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै सर्वैत्र सुखिना सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःख मा
Thank you, Santosh. I now invite our principal, Dr. Pradnya Prabhu, to address us all for the inaugural session of the lecture series entitled Learn from Stalwarts.
Very good morning to one and all, and welcome to Learn from Stalwart series, which is organized by Department of Chemistry every year. We are really blessed to have Professor A.K. Bakshi, founding Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Haryana, with us today as the first stalwart in this lecture series. Sir, we are really honored to have you. I'm glad to share with you about our college. Ours is 60 years old college, one of the reputed colleges in Mumbai, accredited with A grade by NAC 3 times. We are the recipient of prestigious grants like DST SERB, DST FIST, Star DBT, and also College with Potential for Excellence by UGC. Recently, we got certified with ISO 9001-2015 also. Most of our faculty members have attended the workshops organized by TLC GAD, including me, and it really helped us a lot to adopt online teaching during COVID. I will specially mention about eKits. I think eKit developed by you is a great tool which should be used by all the teachers, and I shared it with all my colleagues, and we would definitely like to develop it with the help of your team, sir. Listening to your address at the start of the workshops was a great learning for all of us. I still remember your talks, and it was really a learning experience. Once again, I welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Thanks to Department of Chemistry and especially Dr. Rohit for his initiative to organizing this event. Thanks to all the students for being here to listen to the great stalwarts. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am, for your opening remarks. And now I invite our head of the department, Chemistry Department, Mrs. Madhavi Kate, to brief us about the lecture series. Madhavi ma'am, are you muted or something?
Now, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible now. Yes.
Respected stalwart of first session of the series, Learn from Stalwarts, Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, Principal Dr. Pradnya Prabhu madam, my colleagues and dear students. A very good morning to one and all. I extend my warm welcome to Professor A.K. Bakshi sir. Sir, I would like to take 5 minutes to introduce you to our chemistry department. Chemistry department is one of the oldest and largest department of K.G. Somaiya College of Science and Commerce. We have at present 24 teaching staff and 18 supporting staff or non-teaching staff, and almost 1,000 students for chemistry, including UG and PG. Under autonomy, which is of course academic autonomy, we frame our own curriculum. We started framing our curriculum from 2013-14 in a stepwise manner. That is FYBSc in 2013-14 and so on. Now we are in the second cycle of syllabus revision. This year, we have implemented new syllabus based on CBCS for TYBSc. We have included skill enhancement courses like business skills for chemists, food and cosmetic analysis, and discipline-specific electives such as research methodology in chemistry, polymers, environmental chemistry, industrial chemistry, and radiation chemistry. The curriculum is developed keeping in mind 3 main aspects: to establish a strong foundation in chemistry, to inculcate research aptitude, and to develop entrepreneurship skills, and to help the students in employability. Various new teaching pedagogies are used to make teaching more student-centric and interesting. The students are future of our nation, and shaping their minds is crucial. Keeping this in mind, chemistry department organizes various co-curricular activities for students, such as safety workshop, stereochemistry workshop, spectroscopic workshop, career guidance seminars, department fest Rasayan, and the most important of them is Learn from Stalwarts, which is a lecture series organized from 2014-15. Earlier, for 2 years, it was conducted under the name Abhyas Mahotsav. From 2016-17 onwards, we call it Learn from Stalwarts, where eminent personalities or stalwarts from different prestigious institutions and industries share their expertise with our students. This helps in broadening the vision of the students. We are privileged to have eminent personalities like Professor C.P. Rao, IIT Mumbai, Professor Mobin Sheikh, IIT Indore, Saurabh Pal, NCL Director, Professor Anand Venkatrathan, ISER Pune, Professor A.V.R. Reddy, BARC. If I have missed out any name, please forgive me as the list is long. This year, we are privileged to have sessions of inaugural session or first session, I would say, Professor A.K. Bakshi sir. Then we have Dr. Bhavani Shankar Joshi, Application Scientist and Director, Drucker India Suppliers Private Limited. He will be talking on NMR spectroscopy. Then we have Professor M.S. Balakrishna, Department of Chemistry, IIT Bombay. His session will be on organometallics. Then we have Dr. Adish Taggi, Scientific Officer, Chemistry Division, BARC Mumbai. His session will be on role of metal ions in biology. Then Dr. Sandeep Nigam, Scientific Officer G, Chemistry Division, BARC Mumbai. His session will be on introductory packet of quantum chemistry. So I'm sure all these sessions will be extremely useful to our students and motivating to our teachers as well. So once again, I welcome you, sir, and thank you for accepting our invitation. So over to you, Veena.
Veena ma'am, unmute yourself. Uh, so I think she's facing some technical issue from her end. So without further delaying the process, I would take in, ma'am. So thank you, Principal ma'am and our head ma'am for introducing our college as well as the lecture series, Learn from Stalwarts. And um, I would say that I will take the chance to introduce one of our esteemed speaker of today's, Professor A.K. Bakshi. I humbly honored and privileged to take this opportunity. I must say it's a really a difficult, rather challenging task to summarize the glorified achievement of our guest. I'm very sure that most of the students as well as the faculty who are attending this lecture have definitely been benefited from your intellect somewhere in the process to learn the chemistry. You all will understand more clearly while I will be reading his enriched CV. Please remain mindful and keep your best ears while I'm reading his brief CV. Professor A.K. Bakshi, former Sir Sankarlal Professor of Chemistry in the University of Delhi, is presently founding Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Bahadurgarh, Haryana. He has been Executive Director of Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius, a post which he was selected through a global selection, and a Vice Chancellor of UP Rajarsi Tandon Open University, Allahabad. Professor Bakshi is also presently chairman of the National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRD and Center for E-Learning are located at SGTB Khalsa College of Delhi University. Professor Bakshi has also been a member of Standing Committee of National Mission on the Education through ICT of Government of India, He was also the chairman of Content Advisory Committee for the Chemistry for Sakshat portal of the MHRD Government of India. He has also been head Department of Chemistry, director CPDHE, and director of Institute of Life Learning of Delhi University. He has also been a visiting professor at GGS IP University in Delhi, a double gold medalist, and recipient of the several awards and academic honors. Professor Bakshi was felicitated 2 times for his outstanding contribution to education by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Professor Bakshi is the author and co-author of more than 180 research and educational articles and 1 patent. He has to his credit 11 books as an author, co-author, 51 e-books and books as an editor, chairman, convener of the working group, and 63 e-modules as an author, co-author for PG chemistry courses and ARPIT program of the MHRD. Professor Bakshi has also been a member of National Writing Team for the Chemistry Class 11th and 12th books of NCRT. Professor Bakshi was elected as the president of the section of Chemical Science of the Indian Science Congress Association for the year 2011 to 12. He has also been a member of various committees of national and international importance. He is also one of the first person from the universities in India to have been selected as a member scientist of third Indian research expedition to Antarctica. At the last, I would like to share a popular saying in Sanskrit, Swadese pujate Raja Vidwan Sarvatra pujate. And with this word, I would say, sir, if I have not able to cover your persona in a short span of time, please pardon me for that. And without further delay, I would humbly invite you to kindly open the session. And now the dais is all yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rohit, for very kind words of introduction. Esteemed Dr. Pradnya Prabhu, Principal KJ Somaiya College of Science and Commerce, Mumbai. Madam Madhvi Kate, Head Department of Chemistry. Of course, Dr. Rohit Chauhan, who is the convener of this program. Dear students and all the faculty members who are present here in today's lecture. Good morning to all of you, and let me say at the very beginning that it's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to have got this opportunity to deliver the inaugural talk of this important lecture series, Learn from Stalwarts. I'm very happy to know that this has been a regular feature of this chemistry department of the college for the last almost 6 to 7 years. And that shows that the college takes a lot of pains to expose their students to various eminent people and learn from that. So I personally compliment the college and especially the chemistry department for this initiative. I'm very happy that, as Dr. Pradnya Prabhu said, the remarkable progress this college has made. I must say the credit for all this goes to the entire team of teachers, students, and of course, under the leadership of the principal. Because, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And, all these achievements cannot be achieved overnight. You have to really work hard. And maybe reaching at the top may be easier, but remaining at the top is still a difficult task. But I'm very sure that with the type of dedication this institution is showing, this is bound to reach greater heights in the times to come. And my best wishes to all of you. Coming to this lecture series, When I was approached by Dr. Chauhan for delivering this talk, there were many options because, we have been teaching chemistry for so long. And but then the problem was, what topic should I choose? Because, it's a very heterogeneous gathering. We have undergraduate students, we have postgraduate students, then faculty members, some of them very senior, and then other experts and persons from industry. So, I ultimately decided that I will share with you my life's experience as to how you can achieve excellence in chemistry in India in the 21st century. Everybody wants to achieve excellence, but sometimes you may not be able to achieve because you may not be following the right strategy. So one learns from one's own mistakes. That is but natural. But then the prudence demands that one should also learn from the experience and mistakes of others. Because Chanakya once said, you can't afford to make all the mistakes on your own because you may not be living that long. So, keeping that point in mind, let me share my experiences as to how one can achieve excellence in chemistry in India in the 21st century. So, before I start my talk, let me share my screen. Dr. Chauhan, would you please confirm, is my screen visible and am I audible?
Yes, sir. It's a very much visible and your voice is clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
So the title, as you can see, is Achieving Excellence in Chemistry in India in the 21st Century, Challenges and Opportunities. The first thing which I want to make it very clear is that when I talk about excellence in chemistry, I mean for student, outstanding student, for teacher, outstanding teacher. Because the main role of a teacher is to disseminate knowledge. And then outstanding researcher. And the main role of researcher is to create knowledge. So one needs to excel in all the three roles. Why I am starting from student? Because if you have been an outstanding student, it will certainly help you in becoming an outstanding teacher and an outstanding researcher. So with that thing in mind, I begin my talk. But since, it is a chemistry lecture series, and there are even, undergraduate students, I will just take a few minutes to build the background. Chemistry and its importance. Just very quickly, we talk about science. Science is a systematic study of reality. Different branches of science, chemistry, physics, biology, geology, ultimately, they are dealing with some part of this reality. So, this classification is man-made. This we should be very clear. Then, there are two fields of science, natural sciences and social sciences. In natural sciences, we deal with the study of natural world or phenomena. In social sciences, we are dealing with study of human behavior and societies. Now, natural sciences are further subdivided in two: physical sciences and life sciences. Physical sciences include physics, chemistry, earth sciences, etc. Whereas life sciences include biology, botany, zoology, etc. So you can very well see chemistry is a physical science which is a part of natural science. What's basically chemistry? You know, all know that the word chemistry was derived from the word alchemy. Broadly speaking, chemistry deals with matter and changes that take place with matter. There are many concerns of chemistry, no doubt, but some of the central concerns of chemistry are structure and behavior, composition and properties, reactions, and the laws that unite these phenomena. So these are the broad central concerns of chemistry. Chemistry is said to be a central science. As you can see, it connects most of other sciences. You have physics, you have mathematics, biology, nanotechnology, environmental science, material science, geology. Everywhere chemistry comes into picture. So you can very well understand the importance of chemistry. The most striking feature of chemistry, which you should remember, is that chemists not only study matter, but in the laboratory, they produce new matter also. This is something very striking. So through various chemical reactions, new matter is also produced. So chemists are changing and extending the world through producing or making new chemical substances. Now I will come to the next point, that is the growth of chemistry knowledge. You know, chemistry knowledge has been growing phenomenally. First is that there is an exponential growth in the number of chemical substances. As I said, chemists produce new substances. So because of this, there is an exponential growth. There was a time when there were some hundreds of chemical substances, but then it has risen, and if the growth rate remains the same, by the end of this century, we will have about 5 billion chemical substances. Then periodic table, there is an increase in the number of elements in the periodic table. There were 63 elements in 1869, but now we have almost 118 elements. And these are the new elements with atomic numbers 113 to 118. And you know them. Then there has been a growth on instrumentation front also because of technology. So growth of new and modern instruments is another indicator of this growth of knowledge and related developments. And because of all this, many new concepts, theories, ideas are emerging on the chemistry scene. So all this indicates growth of chemistry knowledge. And because of this, many new fields or sub-disciplines of chemistry are emerging. Normally we talk about physical, organic or inorganic, etc. But now we have all this: chem, informatics, combinatorial chemistry, green chemistry, and so on. The list is increasing day by day. The truth is that at present, the doubling time of growth of human knowledge has shrunk considerably. There was a time when knowledge was getting doubled in 150 years, but now it has come down to almost 73 days. So you can very well imagine how fast the knowledge is growing. And also that what we know is a drop and what we do not know is an ocean. This is something you have to keep it in mind. And because of this growth of knowledge, research in the frontier areas is becoming more and more challenging due to vastly increasing literature, because so much literature now. And then, once so much knowledge happening, how do we teach to the future generations? How will they come to know? This is possible only by making it a part of education system, so that future generations can be made aware of all this. Now I'll come to the third point, and that is what ails chemistry education in India, in my opinion. In respect of formal education, three things are very important. What do we teach? That is syllabi or curriculum. Then how do we teach? That is teaching and learning. And the third is how do we assess our students? And all this is to be accomplished within a limited time resource. In our country at present, we have very heavy syllabi. As the new education policy has also said, we need to have light syllabi, only core essentials should be included. But the syllabi should be modern, because knowledge is growing very, very fast. So this is what is expected. Otherwise, why we want to have light syllabi? Because we want to give our students more time to think. That is the basic rationale behind that. If we don't have the modern syllabi, then the problem comes in research, because the gap between what is learned and what should be learned is increasing. That should not happen. So we need to keep on modernizing our syllabi and curriculum. Second component is teaching and learning. And in my opinion, this is the most important component of the education process. Unfortunately, our system still focuses on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. If I may say in one sentence, our education system does not challenge the minds of the students. This is today's reality. Just look. Everybody wants 90 plus marks. Nobody is bothered about learning the concepts of chemistry. A student's mark sheet has become a prestige sheet for the family, but a pressure sheet for the child. Our education system does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst the students. Even activity-based learning is very poor. Experimental work is very poor. Students who come out, they have theoretical knowledge, but skills are altogether missing. There is so much emphasis on learning, but nobody tells them how to learn. You should remember that learning is a 6-level hierarchy. Learning starts from remembering, which is the lowest order thinking skill. Then understanding, application, and at the top is creating. So learning should take you to the top, but it's not there in our system. This was my article about that higher education should not be about rote learning. It came in the Pioneer. So what is the fundamental flaw in our education system? I am also teaching, and many of you are also in the teaching. But where is the problem? Look at this small video, which will explain what's the fundamental drawback.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid-fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question, A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A. Ant, ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So you can very well see how our education system strip the children of their ability to think on their own. We are always giving ready-made answers and encouraging them to do that. So our education system does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst the students. Look at this. This is the ranking of the top world ranking of the universities. Our topmost institution is IIT Bombay, 172 position in the world. And the only university which comes is University of Delhi at 500th position. Even, there is a global talent competitiveness index, GTCI, which measures and ranks countries based on their ability to grow, attract, and retain talent. In this also, as you can see, India is number 72. So we should not forget the fact that education is not the learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think. Children need to be taught how to think and not what to think. Therefore, teachers must shift the focus of teaching from remembering and understanding. That's primarily our focus. It should go to higher order thinking skills like applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The third point in education system is assessment. The new education policy emphatically says that we need to transform the culture of assessment because assessment drives learning. The way you assess your students will start learning in that way. So it can be a good way to enhance quality of education. We need to make assessment process more scientific to encourage multiple skills of the students. There was a report, even CBSE is going to revamp class 10th and 12th exam pattern from 2020 because they think the students are only coming with rote learning. So we need to have a focus on critical thinking, analytical skills, etc. In the 21st century, please remember a student will need the following: disciplinary knowledge and skills, skilled communication, out of box or creative thinking, critical thinking and problem solving skills, and sense of inquiry, inquisitiveness, then data analyzing abilities, team playership, digital literacy, and ethical awareness and lifelong learning attitude. This is all what a present day student, Generation Z, why I call Generation Z, all those students who are born in this century, after 2000. So they need all this. There is also a report by the World Economic Forum where it is said 65% of the children entering primary school in 2019 will be working in jobs that don't even exist right now. So this is an age of uncertainty. You do not know what type of jobs you are being prepared for. But these skills which I mentioned, if you are good in them, they can help you fit in any job. Another point which I want to say is the teacher who is the pivot of the education system. I want to focus on that also, because it is said that an institution is ultimately as good as its faculty. What you need for an outstanding student, teacher, or researcher, you need sound and deep knowledge of the subject, clarity of concepts, and you should have done a lot of thinking on the subject. Your teaching should reflect amount of thinking you have done on the subject. Then for an outstanding researcher, you need to be out of box thinker. You need to be creative. You need to be innovative. And then I have written 4 C's. 4 C's means curiosity, creativity, courage, and commitment. All the 4 things are required for research. And for outstanding student, teacher, and researcher, one thing which is going to help you a lot is you should have excellent communication and presentation skills. They can do wonders, because no one will really take the pains to listen to your ideas until and unless your communication is effective and impressive. Please note down, there is a difference. Presentation is what you say, and communication is how you say it. So effective presentation can do wonders and captivate the audience. At this stage, I would also like to tell you from my experience what makes a good teacher. A good teacher should have a full command over the subject, should have done a lot of thinking on every topic. It's not merely passing down the information. Before going to a class, a teacher should think of all the possible questions which can arise in a student's mind relating to what you are going to teach. Think over them and then present them in a very logical manner. You should also have the ability to come down to the level of the weakest student and take them along. Teacher is not only for bright students. And then you should also have the ability to deliver a lecture in a very systematic and logical manner. Because the way you speak, that shows the way you think. So it's a manifestation of your thought process. And then you should have effective communication skills. And I would personally recommend a teacher should take the feedback of the students. At least myself, I have done it for more than 30 years in Delhi University. I have always taken the feedback of the student, unofficially, although it was. 3 things I used to ask: what they liked, what they did not like, and some suggestions. And you will be surprised to know that when you teach a semester paper or for 1 year, there are so many classes. Students observe you so minutely. A student can make any mistake, but a student will not make a mistake in identifying a good teacher. So he or she can be the real judge for your teaching. And then, there is a very Richard Feynman's quote: if you want to master something, teach it. The more you teach, the better you learn. Teaching is a powerful tool to learning. There was a newspaper report, why no one ever forgets a good teacher. Perhaps that is so because there are not too many of them around. So, it's very unfortunate that people are sometimes doing very, casual research and they ignore teaching. That should not happen. Another is, in teaching context, I was thinking while preparing for this talk, let me share some of the common misconceptions which students have in chemistry. So teachers will excuse me because these are very simple one. For example, pH. Normally people define pH as minus log concentration of hydrogen ion. But this is wrong. Why? Because concentration of hydrogen ion has units. And you cannot take logarithm of a unit quantity or a dimensional quantity. So on this basis, it should be said wrong. So the correct definition is minus log activity of hydrogen ions, because activity of hydrogen ions will have no units. Similarly, we come across this equation. From here, you can very well see that you are taking logarithm of K. K is the equilibrium constant. So K should not have any units. Otherwise, you cannot take logarithm. You can take logarithm of 100. You cannot take logarithm of 100 grams. That's simple. Then thermodynamics. We talk about delta G to be the criteria for the spontaneity of a reaction. This is the criteria only at constant temperature and constant pressure. If the conditions change, criteria will also change. Keep that in mind. Then in thermodynamics, we define, ds, which is a small change in entropy, to be dq reversible by T. Then delta S will be this. Why I'm showing you this? I'm showing you this because there is a common misconception amongst students. Suppose you go from point 1 to point 2 or state 1 to state 2 reversibly or irreversibly. Whether you go reversibly or whether you go irreversibly, since delta S is a state function, so delta S value should be the same. But how will you calculate? Calculation method is Q reversible. That means it should not be that once it is going irreversibly, you put dq irreversible. That is wrong. So whether reversible or irreversible, correct calculations are done using dq reversible. That is the point which you have to keep it in mind. Then what's the difference between gas and vapor? For every substance, there is a critical temperature. Above critical temperature, we call it a gas. Below critical temperature, we call it a vapor. For example, water, its critical temperature is 374 degrees centigrade. So at room temperature, we call water vapors because they are below critical temperature. Hydrogen gas, you can see its critical temperature is very low. Therefore, at room temperature, it will be above critical temperature. So we will call it hydrogen gas. Small concept, but you should think over that. Even in thermodynamics, you have enthalpy is equal to internal energy plus PV. People normally say PV is the work done. PV is also an energy. H is also an energy, E is also an energy, PV is also an energy. So what is that additional energy PV, which when added to E will make it H? So this energy is the energy of occupying space. That means the energy which the substance possesses by virtue of the space it occupies, the energy of its confinement in a space. So that is PV, that is the energy of occupying space. In chemical kinetics, if you have this reaction, everybody knows that rate of the reaction can be written in this way. Negative for reactants, positive for the products, and they are divided by the stoichiometric coefficients, as you can see. So this is simple, everybody knows. But what I want to tell you is there is a difference between rate of a reaction and rate of appearance or rate of disappearance. They are different things. For example, in this reaction, C is appearing. So rate of appearance of C will be 3 times the rate of the reaction. Rate of disappearance of B will be 2 times the rate of the reaction, and the same with A, it will be just the rate of the reaction because stoichiometric coefficient is 1. Because, if you look at the equation, when 1 mole of A is consumed, 2 moles of B are also consumed, producing 3 moles. So rates of appearance and disappearance have to be different from the rates of the reaction. But sometimes students are confused. So these things can come with the thinking. That is what I want to tell you. I'm not talking something rocket science. Then in Bohr model, what are the causes of the failure of the Bohr model? Two fundamental drawbacks. One was in Bohr model, electron was stated as a particle. But then de Broglie said it should be a dual behavior. So this is something fundamentally wrong. And second was Bohr talked about the concept of stationary orbits. Orbit means a path. And you can know the path only if you know the position and the velocity together. Therefore, the concept of path was violating Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So that was the second drawback. So this is the causes of the failure of Bohr model. That is why after Bohr and little bit Sommerfeld, no further development took place. And we had quantum mechanics. What is quantum mechanics? Quantum mechanics is a theoretical science of microscopic objects. Why do we need a separate science for microscopic objects? Because for microscopic objects, particle and wave nature both are very important. You cannot ignore either. So in simple language, you can say quantum mechanics gives you the laws of motion of microscopic objects, just as Newtonian mechanics or classical mechanics gives you laws of motion of macroscopic objects. So this is quantum mechanics. Theoretical science, microscopic, dual behavior. This equation, lambda is equal to h upon p or momentum, is the connecting thing. Lambda can be only of a wave, momentum can be only of a particle. And the two are connected through Planck's constant. So quantum mechanics is a science. Depends upon which problems you apply it. You apply it to chemistry, it becomes quantum chemistry, physics, quantum biology, like that. And while we study atomic structure, there is also a misconception about assignment of magnetic quantum number, m. For example, 2p, n is 2, l is 1, but m has three values, px, py, pz. So which value should be allotted to which, px, py, or pz? Sometimes people think the three orbitals are degenerate. You can give any value to anyone. That's wrong. For 2pz, m is 0. But 2px and 2py are the linear combinations of 2p plus 1 and 2p minus 1. No single value can be assigned to 2px or 2py. Similarly, for 3D orbitals, there are 5 orbitals. 3D z square, you can see, is m is 0. But 3D xz and 3D yz are the linear combinations of plus 1 and minus 1. And 3D xy and 3D x square minus y square are the linear combinations of plus 2 and minus 2. So this is something you need to remember. Even in simple thing like van der Waals equation, sometimes people confuse, P is here the pressure of real gas, because van der Waals equation is after all for a real gas, and V is the volume of real gas. And you should also remember that this whole term P plus AN square upon V square actually means the pressure of real gas had it been ideal. And V minus NB means volume of real gas had it been ideal. So that is P ideal, V ideal is nRT. So then, there is also a misconception that all positively charged species are electrophiles. This is also wrong. If you look at these species, the red ones are not electrophiles. Electrophiles are electron deficient species, and the species are atoms having complete octet are not electrophile. Sodium ion is 10 electrons, so complete octet, so it's not. Same with others. One more confusion, why only hydrogen bond exists? Why not other? In hydrogen bond, H is attached to highly electronegative element, X, which could be nitrogen, oxygen, or fluorine. And when H is attached to X, X by virtue of its high electronegativity attracts electron towards its side. Hydrogen is unique because it is just a one electron system. So that electron gets attracted to the X, and on the opposite side, bare nucleus is exposed, which attracts another X. So that gives rise to hydrogen bond. So what I want to tell you is these are, and I'm already coming out with the videos on common misconceptions in chemistry. The list is so long, but I just wanted to give you an idea that whatsoever I have said, this is not something very big, but you should also think over that, why this is. And that is what I mean when I said that thinking is missing. We need to have an integrated approach to teaching, learning chemistry in our country. For example, you look at this, quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, spectroscopy, and thermodynamics, we teach them in isolation. Rather, they are connected. Quantum mechanics deals with, what is called individual atom or molecule. We solve Schrodinger equation, we get psi. Psi is the storehouse of information, but quantum mechanics is theoretical. But how will you verify quantum mechanical results? You verify it through spectroscopy. So you can see the link. Then statistical mechanics is not dealing with individual atom or molecule, it is dealing with the bulk matter. So here, instead of wave function, there we have here partition function, which is the storehouse of information. And how do you verify statistical mechanics results experimentally? Thermodynamics. So you can see there is a clear-cut, linking between them. We should, in our teaching, emphasize these points. We should not teach each topic in isolation. For example, here we talk sometimes, oh, I am a physical chemist. I don't know about organic. I am organic. I don't know about inorganic. Like that. That should not happen. Another challenge is, in my opinion, that there is a dearth of creative minds in India. There is a crisis of creativity in Indian education system. No Indian scientist working in India has been able to get a Nobel Prize after 1930. It was in 1930 that C.V. Raman got the Nobel Prize for his discovery of the Raman effect. And this was announced on 28th February, and that is why we celebrate National Science Day, which is going to come very soon. And then, these people also got Nobel Prizes, but then they were not working in India. They were non-resident Indians. Please remember, Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. If you want to really excel in research at that level, you need enormous amount of creativity and open-mindedness. And this cannot come in one day. It has to be nurtured from childhood. We need willingness to collaborate. We prefer to work in isolation. No, we need to build more bridges rather than walls. And then we need also perseverance and resilience. We sometimes want immediate gains. That should not be the case. I remember, look at this discovery of electrically conducting polymers. Discovery was made in 1977, although the work had been going on for a very, very long time. And the Nobel Prize was given 23 years later. They wanted to test everything, whether it is worth Nobel Prize or not. Although the reaction was very simple, that this reaction of discovery of, they started with acetylene, they made it a polymer. Depending on temperature, it was either cis or trans. But when this polyacetylene is treated with oxidizing agents or reducing agents, there was a sharp increase in conductivity. So that is the basic reaction which led to the discovery of conducting polymers in 1977. But then lot of investigations were done and all these applications have been found. And then in the year 2000, Nobel Prize was given. So that's the point I want to say, that you need to work and you can't get immediate gains. Even superconductivity, at one stage in India, there was so much craze about finding superconductivity at room temperature. I remember in 1980s or 90s, but we could not. But now it has been achieved. People kept on working. And this came about 2-3 months back, that for the first time superconductivity has been achieved at room temperature. And enormous amount of creativity is also required. If you look at quantum mechanics, It is considered to be one of the greatest intellectual developments of the 20th century. Quantum mechanics provides the foundation of modern chemistry. At least 10 scientists involved in the development of quantum mechanics have won Nobel Prizes. Look at them. All these people got Nobel Prizes. Then these people also, Pauli, Born, Mulliken, Kohn, and Popel, like that. The development of quantum mechanics is an example. Please note it. It is an example of how creativity can enable one to think much beyond what exists. Because before quantum mechanics, everybody thought classical mechanics is ultimate. It could never be replaced. But then it required the work, and then it was possible. And quantum mechanics also, as I said earlier, provides the theoretical foundations of spectroscopy. So, dear participants, what I want to say is without creativity, there cannot be any progress. And we would be forever repeating the same pattern. After all, why do we teach? And why do we learn something? Just to reproduce in the examination and get marks and go to higher class? That's not the purpose of education. No. And creativity is not just like an injection which you give to someone. You have to create an appropriate environment for curiosity and a way to encourage people and get the best out of them. Creative thinking is what after all? You must be thinking, I have said so many times, creative thinking means the connection of previously unconnected thoughts is creative thinking. So you should have a broad knowledge, it's a lot of thought, then you try to connect them. That is called creative thinking. And that will give rise to creativity, and creativity will then give rise to innovation. This was my article in Times of India, Education Times. This came on 30th December about creativity crisis in the Indian education system. How you can become innovative and creative. Creativity, as said, is conceiving new idea, innovation, implementing that idea. So creativity is the pillar of innovation. And innovation is the key to any nation's development. Everybody is talking about creativity and innovation. These are some of the ways you can change your daily routine. If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. So change. Devote some time for creative thinking. Creative thinking, now you understand, connection. But for that, you should have a broad knowledge. If you have a very limited knowledge, you don't know anything else, how can you become creative thinker? That is why I'm said that you should not study any topic in isolation. There is a linkage. These are man-made departments which we have created. They hinder our growth. Then you should be keen observer. So many people come and deliver talks. You meet so many people. Instead of looking at their negative traits, try to see what is good in them. Everybody had something good. So try to observe that and make it a part of your own personality. And then, one of the biggest stumbling block in growth is fear of failure. You should overcome that. Because, there is a famous quote, जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे, तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहेगा. Don't let it happen. And now a new concept has come, embrace your failures. Many successful people, keep a failure resume where they write down what jobs they could not get, what awards they could not win. They keep on reading and don't make those mistakes again. Failures can be the pillars of success, depending upon how you take them. You can take them as a stepping stone. Just remember, please, your attitude towards failure determines your altitude after failure. Another challenge which I feel is that you need to embrace technology and become tech savvy in the 21st century. Technology is going to play a very important role in enhancing the quality of education in the 21st century. ICT. What is ICT after all? ICT is an umbrella term that encompasses all communication technologies that provide access to information. be it internet, wireless network, satellite communication, cell phone, all come under ICT. And ICT has impacted all areas of higher education. Look at this. ICT has impacted teaching and learning. E-learning and MOOCs are coming. ICT helps in the revision of syllabi through email, discussion forum, video conferencing, etc. ICT helps in research through electronic databases. ICT is also helping in the professional development through ARPIT programs. ICT is helping through, new pedagogies. Let me talk a little bit about e-learning and MOOCs. E-learning is, after all, what? E-learning is electronic learning. Focus is still on learning. E is just a mechanism. So you can say that e-learning is a learning that uses ICT. What is MOOC? MOOCs are also a form of e-learning, but in a very structured manner. This term MOOC was coined only in the year 2008, not very old. And MOOC is an acronym for Massive Open Online Course. Why we call it massive? Because there can be lakhs and lakhs of enrollments. Open, because no qualifications are required for enrollment until and unless you want to obtain the grades. Then it is offered online, and then normally one semester paper corresponds to one MOOC. The basic philosophy of MOOCs is 4 A's. Anytime, anywhere, anyone, any number of times. So you can decide your own pace of learning. And then please remember, MOOCs are developed in India by the top experts of the country. So you can benefit a lot. And all these MOOCs are hosted on SWAYAM portal, Learning Management System. At present, more than 2,000 courses have been uploaded. The vision is that SWAYAM will be something like ATL, anytime learning for MOOCs, just as we have ATM for money from the banks. And about SWAYAM platform, you should remember it is one of the world's largest MOOC providers. More than 2,000 courses from 9th grade onwards are uploaded. $33 million investment has already been made. There is an introductory video for each MOOC, which will give you the summary of that MOOC. Courses are free, but fee is charged for examination or certificate. And you may study even the desired module, because each MOOC has normally 35 to 40 modules. For example, we have developed more than 50 MOOCs. And in chemistry, for example, I have developed so many MOOCs, but this is a MOOC of quantum chemistry. This
Dear
is an introductory
students,
video.
welcome to this MOOC on quantum chemistry for postgraduate students. This MOOC, which you are required to complete in 15 weeks, has been developed in a very systematic and logical manner. In the first week, you will learn about the fundamentals of quantum mechanics, such as what is quantum mechanics, how did it originate, what's its role in chemistry, and how does it operate, etc. This will be followed in the second week by a detailed discussion on the role and properties of operators in quantum mechanics and the complete solution of the particle in a box problem. In the third and fourth weeks, we will solve Schrödinger equation.
So like that,
what all you have learned.
This is an introductory video which tells you how a MOOC will be covered in 15 weeks and what are going to be the contents week-wise. So that is for every MOOC. Anyway, about our MOOCs, there was a report in, as you can see here, there was a report in Education Times about MOOCs which have been developed by us. This is under the heading Massive Learning. And now, because MOOCs are coming in a big way, they are going to change the face of education. And now even virtual universities are likely to come. This report came only a few days back. You can see this was in Times of India. The virtual universities will come, and SWAYAM platform with more than 2000 courses can be the starting point for a virtual university in the country. And then ICT is also being used in the professional development of higher education faculty. Professional development of teachers is very, very important. The way education is changing, the way knowledge is growing. Earlier, it was done by academic staff colleges, then came human resource development centers. Now, these Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya centers have come, and then online Arpit programs are coming. This scheme was launched in 2018 by the government. This is called Arpit, Annual Refresher Program in Teaching. Government created many national resource centers in the country, and each center was given one discipline to develop online refresher program. For example, National Resource Center of Chemistry is with us. I'm the chairman of that center. We created Arbit program in chemistry in 2018 and 2019. And the focus of these programs is on the latest developments, then on new and emerging areas, and then also pedagogical innovations and methodologies, etc. So this is the National Resource Center of Chemistry. And our program is considered to be amongst the best in the country. I will just show you very quickly a 3-minute video about our Arpit program. This is an introductory video about Arpit 2019. Just watch it.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Vimal Raj, and I am the coordinator of National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD Government of India at SCTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi.
And myself, Professor A.K. Bakshi. We welcome you all to the Arpit 2019, which is going to provide you a unique opportunity to learn as per your convenience. For this online refresher course, we have selected a variety of interesting and exciting topics,
so that these are useful for all the UG and PG chemistry teachers of our country, irrespective of their specialization.
Let's have a look at the variety of the modules which have been developed with the help of leading experts from all over the country.
To begin with, we will have a special module as Chem News, which will bring the latest news to you from the world of chemistry.
The modules entitled Chem Talks will focus on the latest developments as well as new and emerging areas of chemistry.
In the Chem Safe Lab modules, we will focus on various measures to be taken to prevent accidents in our chemistry lab.
In the module on Chem Nobel Laureates, this time we will be focusing on life and contributions of Ernest Rutherford.
Through the modules titled Chem Pedagogy, we will highlight on improving curriculum development and question paper setting.
You will all agree that there are many difficult topics in chemistry. In the modules entitled Chem Simplified, we will take some of these topics and explain them in a very simple way. To commemorate 150th anniversary of periodic table in 2019, we have introduced in this course one module entitled Chem History.
Another interesting module of this online course is going to be Chem Industry, in which this time the focus will be on pharmaceutical industry and career options for our chemistry students.
In the Chem Error module, we will explain the correct uses of the SI units.
Anyway, you can see how professional development has changed with technology. I'm sure many of you must have attended this course, but even students can also enroll. They may not, there are so many good lectures. There are about 35 lectures by top people of the country. And now we are going to have another faculty development program, 1 week faculty development program in chemistry, where Professor C.N.R. Rao and other people would be coming and delivering talk. This is going to start on 25th of February. So, it's things are changing very, very fast. That's what I want to say. And then with ICT, new pedagogies have also come. We normally teach by talk and chalk method. This method has certain limitations. It is a teacher-centric approach, mainly a monologue method, many complex concepts you cannot explain on the board. Then it presumes that all students learn in an identical fashion. That may not be true. Some may be very slow learners, some may be very fast learners. You can't solve many problems in the class also because of the paucity of time, slow and time consuming. So with technology, new pedagogies have come. And the basis is the same, which I told you earlier. Learning is a 6-level hierarchy. We should go from lower order to higher order thinking skills. But, in our traditional classroom, our focus is mainly on developing lower order thinking skill, remembering, understanding, and applying. That is wrong. Therefore, this new pedagogy has come, which is called flipped learning. It's called a blended learning approach. What is flipped learning? Just try to understand. In the traditional model, a teacher delivers a lecture in the class and then gives some homework activities. That's the normal way. But in the flipped model, a teacher will give a video on any topic to be watched at home by the students. And next day in the class, that video will be discussed with the teacher in the presence of other students. So this is the flipped classroom model developed by these two chemistry teachers of United States. How this will work, you can see. In the traditional model, remembering and understanding is done in the class by the teacher because teacher is delivering the lecture. And higher order thinking skills are left to the student to be developed on their own outside the class. But in the flipped model, remembering and understanding is done by the student themselves at home using that video. And then higher order thinking skills are developed in the classroom through discussion. So this model is believed to be much more advantageous. This is my article about flipped classroom, how it will fulfill the learning needs of the 21st century. So again, the way the knowledge is imparted, the ways are changing. This is my another article about flipped classroom. And with all what I have said, the roles of chemistry teachers are now going to change. We need now tech-savvy teachers in ICT skills. Because tomorrow's students may be enrolled in MOOCs. They may have some questions. Who will answer them? It is the teacher. So teachers should know how to manage virtual classroom and virtual discussion forum. Then teachers should also be proficient in the development of e-content and MOOCs. After all, who prepares MOOCs? It is the teachers. In classes, we are delivering talk through speech, but in MOOCs, it is in writing. So we need to have good writing skills. This is unfortunately not the case. Other qualities which I said earlier, a teacher should have a deep knowledge, sound knowledge, all those things are required, but these are additional roles. It is said that in the 21st century, these skills are required. Critical thinking, not only for others, but for ourselves. Adaptability to technology, then excellent communication skills, cultural understanding also, because of internet, world is becoming a global village. So you should have cultural understanding for more interaction and collaboration, and then initiative and drive to compete. Earlier, competition used to be in your university or in the city, but now it is going to be a global competition very soon. Anybody can go anywhere. So you should have that initiative and drive to compete also. And another point is India is soon going to enter an era of education 4.0. Education 4.0 is total technology mediated education. World is presently passing through fourth industrial revolution, which is based on artificial intelligence and other technologies. So education 4.0 is the education system which is aligned with the needs of industrial revolution 4. That's the point. This is my article about how education 4.0 will work for the coming generations. These are the new technologies which are now going to come: artificial intelligence, robotics, virtual reality, Internet of Things, augmented reality, data science, gamification, machine learning, etc. And now something more is also going to come. Classroom teaching is teacher-centric. MOOCs are like one size fits all, but now personalized learning is coming. And here artificial intelligence is going to be a big help. This is a scheme of the government, NEET scheme. I am also associated with this scheme. This is National Educational Alliance for Technology. Here, artificial intelligence is used to make learning more personalized and customized as per the requirements of the learners. If you are the learner, as per your requirements, a special curriculum will be developed. For other curriculum. So it will be need-based. Artificial intelligence is also going to be used in examination, adaptive assessments, that is machine set question papers. Algorithms will replace mentors. Exams may be tomorrow at doorsteps. Digital invigilation will replace physical invigilation, digital attendance, etc. It's a good report. Tomorrow exams may move to your bedroom, but still the invigilator would be watching. Because there is an artificial intelligence proctor which will keep a watch on your movement. And image recognition technique will ensure that the right person is appearing in the examination. All this, doesn't it look like a magic that this is also possible? So this is something you have to keep it in mind. There must be a apprehension in the minds of the people that will technology replace teachers? Please remember, technology won't replace teachers. But teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. So become tech savvy. It saves you time. It helps you in doing so many things much more effectively and efficiently. Technology doesn't have a brain of its own, but you can use it the way you want it. Technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers is transformational. You should be a great teacher, then you should also be tech savvy. This combination can do wonders. This was my article about technology won't replace teachers in times of India. And time is not far when we will be having digital curriculum in every educational institution, with a focus on digital skills, competencies, influences, etc. So that by the time students come out of the education system, they are already tech savvy. And please remember, technology in education is a journey and not a destination. It's not that the technology will stop. Earlier, there was no technology, then came ICT, now we are having artificial intelligence. So technology will keep on developing. So the message is never stop learning. That's the message which I want to give to you. Rather, you should inspire your students to be lifelong learners by being one. Now I come to the last part of my talk, and that is when so much is there, so many challenges, so many opportunities, then how to excel? I'm going to share my own life's experience and give some tips for students and teachers. And then I will stop. A teacher is also a student. Please remember that. When one teaches, two learn. Student learns, and of course, teacher also learns. The most important thing is, if you want to be successful in life, you should have self-belief. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch but in her own wings. So believe in yourself if you want to excel in your career. Always have one immediate as well as distant aims. Most of the students are having distant aim, but they forget the immediate aim. And immediate aim should be to do very well in your day-to-day work. And if you don't do this, ultimately you will achieve nothing. अधिक दूर देखने की चाहत में कई बार बहुत कुछ पास से गुजर जाता है. So don't do that. And whatsoever you are interested in, try to excel in that, because a penguin can never be a giraffe. So try to be the best penguin you can be. Have always positive thinking. Look at this person getting 11 marks out of 10. Height of positivity. Positive thinkers have a solution for every problem. Negative thinkers have a problem for every solution. You come across both people in your day-to-day life. Stay positive. For students, I would say read less, think more. Don't read big books and do that. Nothing. One good standard book is good, but read it between the lines. Don't read a book like a novel. Try to get clarity of concepts. That is very, very important. Students sometimes ignore this. And try to get an in-depth understanding of the topics through solving problems. When you solve problems of different difficulty level, every problem will teach you something. Do that. Do regular introspection. Nobody knows you better than you yourself. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Once in 2 to 3 months, sit down and just see what have you achieved in the last 2-3 months and change your strategy. If you don't get the best, make the best of what you get. Every line needs top people. If you are a teacher, become an outstanding teacher. If you are a researcher, outstanding researcher. Excel in whatsoever you do. Be confident and honest to yourself. You don't need to tell to the world that you are very honest or confident. Just you're conscious. That's enough. If you want to really become extraordinary, try to acquire extraordinary qualities. Don't be like one in the crowd. That is mediocrity, I would put it. At least make efforts. Work with strong willpower and bulldog determination. You have to work very hard. And I assure you, world will be at your feet. Sometimes people are very sensitive, people criticize sometimes. Sticks and stones are always thrown at fruit-bearing trees. Don't worry, keep moving. These things will happen in your life. Rather, they should tell you that you are becoming something when people talk about you. Don't worry. Yes, if something wrong, you should admit. Otherwise, don't worry. Don't spend time on these things. This was something which was written in my room. You can't change the past, but you can ruin present by worrying about future. So don't do that. And even if you have all that, sometimes still you are not successful in life because you need appropriate personality also. There is a report that 87% of all people fail not because of capability, but because of personality. And we don't realize the importance of personality in our life. Very sad. Let me first of all tell you the difference between personality and character. Personality is who we are and what we do when everybody is watching. Character is who we are and what we do when nobody is watching. So personality is an external manifestation of your character. It's deep-rooted. Character is deep-rooted. And please remember, we cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are. We have to change ourselves. And the unique point about personality is that it can be changed. But the older you become, it becomes more and more difficult to change your personality. So for young students, it's an opportunity. It's better to be prepare and prevent rather than to repair and repent. That is called proactive personality. Proactive, proactive means prevent problems before they occur. Reactive means react to the problem after they occur. So you should be having a proactive personality. Keep yourself ready for the things. And please remember, the secret of success is to be ready when your opportunity comes. Keep on working. And I tell you, if you keep on working regularly, whenever the opportunity comes, you will immediately be able to grab it. I also started from a small college in Delhi University. We kept on working, although, nobody told us all these things. We learned on our way to ladder, climbing the ladder. But I'm telling you because you're fortunate that you're getting all these such talks from the people. So proactive personality traits you should have. Then, you should have self-belief. I told you earlier, without self-belief, you cannot achieve. Then you should also have self-discipline. There is nothing in this world that can disturb you more or trouble you more than your own thoughts. If you can control your own thoughts, you can master anything. So please have self-discipline. Ultimately in life, you will have to choose either of the two options, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The choice is yours. Then work hard sensibly. Many people are very hardworking, but without any direction, without any strategy. Work hard, but sensibly, because direction is more important than speed. Prepare a roadmap how you want to move, and then growth mindset. This is very important because there is nothing in this world, as I said, that can trouble you more than your own thoughts. Look at this small video. This conveys a lot of good message.
How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces,
12 ounces?
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Then, you should come out of the comfort zone. Many people are not able to achieve much because they prefer to remain in their comfort zone. Oh, I am getting good salary, my husband or wife getting good salary, children are well educated, well settled, why should I work? So that's the end of your growth. Control your anger also. Anger is a normal emotion, but try to control it. Because sometimes you say the things out of anger which can scare a person for life. So better to remain silent. And it's said, once you are angry, count up to 10 before you speak. And if you are very, very angry, count up to 100 before you speak, things will cool down. And then control over your worries. Worry is a misuse of imagination. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. One day in life, you will realize that you worried too much about the things that don't really matter. So avoid that. Arrogance, another hindrance. Sometimes a small success goes into a person's head and he or she starts thinking, oh, what achievement. No, don't do that. Arrogance basically comes from ego. Confidence, self-confidence comes from self-belief, and arrogance comes from ego. So you should not have that. There is a very famous quote, कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े. Yes, fact. Remember that you are dust and to dust you shall return. समय और भाग्य पर कभी अहंकार मत करो, क्योंकि ये दोनों परिवर्तनशील हैं. You don't know when the times change. Then, the most important thing which I want to say is manage your time, especially to the young student. Everybody gets 24 hours a day. The secret to your success is how you manage those 24 hours. Please remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. It's not wrong if I say time management is life management. You have got only one life, but if you manage it well, I think one is more than enough. This is the key to time management. What? To see the value of every moment. Every moment is valuable. It's not going to come again in your life. The bad news is time flies. But the good news is you are the pilot. You can change it. Your company is also very important. Make sure you spend it with the right people. Sometimes we don't realize the importance of the company because it permanently changes your personality. Nothing wrong in being choosy. Why? Why not? And one more thing, live in the moment. The present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all the moments. वक्त दिखाई नहीं देता, मगर दिखा बहुत कुछ देता है. Life, it becomes more meaningful. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple fact that you will never get the same moment twice. Never. So let's live in the moment. Song which I like.
पल है आगे भी जाने न तू पीछे भी जाने न तू जो भी है बस यही एक पल है.
खूबसूरत चेहरा भी बूढ़ा हो जाता है, पद भी एक दिन खत्म हो जाता है, जिस्म भी एक दिन ढल जाता है, लेकिन एक दिल का अच्छा इंसान हमेशा अच्छा इंसान ही रहता है. So be a good person, but don't waste time to prove it. One day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you have always wanted. Do it now. Many big people, how the time changes them. Just watch this very small half a minute video, but these teach you a lessons.
समय की धारा में, समय की धारा में उम्र बह जानी है, जो घड़ी जी लेंगे वो जो घड़ी जी लेंगे वही रह जानी है।
So, live the life. So, ultimately, whatsoever I have said, ultimately the aim is challenge yourself. At the end of the day, your biggest competition is you only. And your performance depends upon your potential minus interference. This is the performance formula. Interference are all those negative thoughts, etc. So try to keep it minimum. Somebody very rightly said, you don't have the problem, you are the problem. You should win over yourself. You should become the master of your mind. You should not become the puppet of your mind. स्वर्ग भी तू है, नर्क भी तू है, इन दोनों का फर्क भी तू है।
सुनो गजर क्या गाए, समय गुजरता जाए, और दिन वाले होर भोले भाले सोना ना होना ना। सुनो गजर क्या गाए, समय गुजरता जाए।
जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है, जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है, आंधी से तूफान से डरता नहीं है। तू न चलेगा तो चल देंगी राहें, वो तू न चलेगा तो चल देंगी राहें, मंजिल को तरसेंगी तेरी निगाहें, तुझको चलना होगा।
बंधी हैं हाथ पर सबके घड़ियां, मगर पकड़ में किसी के एक लम्हा भी नहीं। इट्स अ वेरी गुड कोट। जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती है, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं, और जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं तब तक लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है। So the message for all of you, it's never too late to be what you might have been. These are about our articles, Chemistry Education in the 21st Century. This is about our MOOCs in Times of India. This is my editorial on e-learning. This is about our report in Times of India. This is another article in Education Times. This is how using ICT. This is what are the job prospects for the chemistry people, dynamic world of chemicals in Hindustan Times. This is about SWIME platform in Education Times. And just 1 minute more before I close, I want to give you a message. See, I recently read a book. The title of the book is Die Empty. And the author says what inspired him to write this book. He was attending a meeting, and while attending a business meeting, the director asked the audience, where is the richest land in the world? One said, oil-rich Gulf states. Another added, diamond mines in Africa. Then the director said, no, it is the symmetry. It is the richest land in the world because millions of people have died and they have carried with them their valuable ideas that did not come to light, nor they could benefit others. It is all in the cemetery where those ideas are buried along with those people. So getting an idea from that, he wrote this book, Die Empty. The message for all of us is live full, but die empty. Share your thoughts, ideas with the people. Don't die old, die empty. That is the goal of life. Go to the cemetery and disappoint the graveyard. Yes, here is a person who has come empty. So thank you very much. I think I have taken a little more time, but I wanted to complete because there were about 270 slides. So thanks for your patience. And please do give me your feedback. This is my email ID. This is also my cell number, WhatsApp. You can always be in touch with me. And the message which I want to give you is finally, it's never too late to be what you might have been. Change yourself from today itself, and you will see the difference very soon. And you will be able to achieve excellence. Thank you very much and all the best. And I will now stop sharing. Thank you. Hello, I'm not able to hear anything.
Yeah, hello, sir. We are there actually. Pradna ma'am, you are mute actually.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
so,
sir. Thank you.
Yes.
It was very inspiring and motivational as usual. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if there is any questions from the student side, they can ask questions or they can drop the questions on the chat box and we can pick it up. And since we are lagging with the time, so please do it. And any questions, if a student do have or even our faculty do have, they can ask. Otherwise, I think sir has shared his email address as well. So you can directly mail to him. And sir, I have get it a response that it's a very wonderful session from few of my students have written just now. I would request to Vanita ma'am to pay a vote of thanks to our esteemed guest.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. Very much audible.
Okay. Very good morning, all of you. It is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks to Professor A.K. Bakshi. I must say that better than 1,000 days of diligent study, it is 1 hour with a great speaker like Professor A.K. Bakshi. Sir, thank you for guiding us about how to bring about changes in ourselves as a teacher, so that we as a teacher can prepare the students to face the challenges in 21st century. Thank you for the highlighting the importance of the digital technology. I must share with you that many of our students, they have been taking the courses from MOOC courses from Swayam portal. It was indeed a mesmerizing experience listening to you, sir. And thank you very much for the melodious ending. So on behalf of management, principal, and Department of Chemistry, I express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Bakshi. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Pradnya Prabhu, our principal, for her continuous encouragement in organizing such programs. I'm thankful to our HOD and Faculty of Chemistry, Mrs. Madhavi Kate, and all the Faculty of Chemistry for their support. I would like to extend my thanks to our technical team led by Mr. Santosh Kundu and Ameya Rane for flawless organization of this program on Zoom platform. I'm thankful to our young blood, Dr. Rohit Chauhan, who is always enthusiastic and provides us an opportunity to interact with the learned stalwarts like Dr. A.K. Bakshi. Last but not the least, I thank all our young minds, our dear students, for their overwhelming response in attending this program. Thank you, students, and please remember, change is the only thing which is permanent in life. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you once again, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your graceful presence. Okay, dear student, our next session is going to be started at 12:30 by Professor Dr. B.S. Joshi, and that session will be start at 12:30. So we will give a 15 minutes of break for you, and after that you can again rejoin the session on the same platform with the same password. Okay, so be present and be attentive.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Rohit, we can leave and join afterwards, na?
हाँ चलेगा ना मैम, no problem, no problem.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, पुष्पा बोलिए.
सर डिवीजन में हम लोग का डिवीजन ही नहीं है, क्योंकि TYBSc नहीं, उसमें सिर्फ SYBSc है और NA फैकल्टी है. तो क्या डालना है?
सॉरी, मैं समझा नहीं आपका, क्या कह रही हैं आप?
फीडबैक फॉर्म है ना,
हाँ
उसमें
हाँ।
डिवीजन में कौन सा डिवीजन डालना है TYBSC में, क्योंकि नहीं है
नहीं
ऑप्शन।
सर, TYBSC में तो उसमें नॉट अप्लीकेबल ऑप्शन है ना आपका।
ओके,
तो
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ हाँ, कुंडू स्टॉप द स्ट्रीमिंग नाउ।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ हाँ, even recording also please past.
We can stop the recording.
हाँ हाँ,
It was good thing, Rohit. It was very well organized.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Sir,
प्लीज सर, अफसर ने इसमें बहुत कुछ काम किया। हाँ बोलिए, कौन है?
sir, the next webinar will start after 15 minutes. Until what time it is?
It will be of 1 hour, I must say. So if means you can say at till 1:30.
Okay, sir.
Near about 1:30 or 1:40.
रोहित, या इट वाज वेरी नाइस। ये क्या बोलते हैं, या फीडबैक वाला जो है बच्चों का यूट्यूब लिंक, यूट्यूब में नहीं डाला ना आपने? उधर नहीं मिला उनको?
डाला तो
नहीं नहीं, उधर नहीं था।
मैडम, डाला तो था मैंने।
नहीं था उधर।
मैम यहाँ से आप कॉपी करके एक बार
यूट्यूब
क्या
से मैं अभी
कुंडू, I told you that please मैडम wait a minute, मैडम wait a minute
Yeah.
कुंडू please stop the live streaming.
Just a minute, sir.
Please do it urgently, otherwise everything is going on the same way. First you stop this live streaming.
रोहित, आई वाज ऑन यूट्यूब, तो अभी यहाँ पे लिंक मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा है। अभी मैं ज्वाइन की, जूम से लोग निकले तो
मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप पे डालता हूँ, आप जरा शेयर कर देंगे?
यू वांट मी टू डू इट ऑन द यूट्यूब?
या मैम।
अच्छा ठीक है, आप डाल दीजिए।
मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप पे शेयर कर रहा हूँ। या मैम देखिए, अभी आपको आया होगा। मधु मैम?
हाँ आ गया। मैं अभी वो मेल करके वहां से करती हूँ।
प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट इट डज नॉट बी गेट शेयर्ड ऑन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप।
हाँ ठीक।